Hey listener, and welcome to another podcast by Life Through a Learner's Eye. Hopefully the 10th episode, and I hope this time it does not mess up because I've been trying to record it for the previous 2 days and it messes up. I don't know why. I really don't know. I record it and I test it several times and it records okay, but when I record it officially, it messes up. And I don't know the reason. I mean, is it karma? Is it bad luck? Whatever you call it, it's happening. So I recorded actually the 10th episode 2 days ago and I forgot what I recorded because I never script them. I know the topic, but I'm really passionate for the topic for that day, and then the next day the topic changes and I want to talk about another thing to provide value. So 2 days ago I was talking about memorization and understanding. Today I want to talk about something really different. I want to talk about the education system. Of course, I've been doing that for a lot of time, but I want to talk about passion and then the room in the education system. Before we start our podcast, I want to acknowledge that the 10th episode feels like a millionth. Really, I can't really record a million episodes, but still it feels too like so much to me. It's just not 10 episodes. It's all the effort that I put into them. All the first step is always, they say I don't know if, but I have heard this saying that the first step is always the hardest. So taking the first steps, in creating that introductory podcast, it took some effort. It really took some effort, and it must have, right? And then there were failures in between, even in these 10 episodes. And then how much I grew and how much I experienced and how much I loved about my passion, all of this. So 10 really feels like a lot. It feels like an accomplishment, really it does. So I'm really grateful for you guys to stay with me. I'm really humble about it. I love you, I love this, I love humanity. And that's what my podcast is about. So thank you for being with me, for staying with me, and for listening to my things. Let's get into the podcast. So today, actually each of my podcast idea is inspired by something that happens in my college or something I listen to or anything. So आज इंग्लिश की क्लास में ये हुआ कि इंग्लिश वाले सर आए और इन्होंने कहा कि and he wrote this big topic on the board. How I don't remember the topic actually. It was what my greatest wish in life. So pretty basic topic. And then he, in the bracket, he wrote 100 to 120 words. I mean, that was the range that you have to write within. Now, something really miraculous happened when he wrote this. Everybody, each of the student, he looked at the topic, he interpreted it, and everybody started asking others, what is your wish? What is your wish? What is your wish? Instead of focusing on themselves, they focused on others. And because they are conditioned to do that. See, the education system, it makes you see the success. It motivates you by seeing the failure of yourself and the success of others. It puts you into a competition, into a race. And that race can never give you happiness. That race can never give you anything practically meaningful. That's what happened here as well, I think. That everybody was so much conditioned that they started thinking about what the other is writing. And then there's the rapport. Rapport is a feeling of total responsiveness between two persons. I mean, if I have a rapport with you, we will have a great communication. If I do something, you'll respond to that in a pretty friendly way. Rapport is like the glue that bonds people together. And these friends, they have great rapport as well, so they start asking each other, like, what's your thing? What's your thing? And another thing here is that none of those, they didn't even know about the greatest wish they have in life. They have one. Everybody has wishes. Everybody has dreams. Everybody has goals. I wrote it in my in that creative writing, exercise in mine. I quoted from the Dead Poets Society. It's a great movie. You should see that. The teacher in that movie, John Keating, I think Mr. Keating, I don't know about his full name, Mr. Keating, that's what they call them. He says, and only in their dreams can men be free. Trust always is and always will be. I wrote that, and I love that because dreams gives you hope, You need to have expectations if you need to move forward in life. Sure, they hurt sometimes, but most of the time they give you happiness as well. And the time they hurt, remember that life is always happening for you, not to you. This was a lesson for you, and it serves you. This lesson, this hurt that came from the expectation, it is there to serve you, to make you grow, to make you learn. It's not there because the universe conspired against you. It's not that. So you need to have expectations. These people, they have a lack of self-awareness, and this is the problem, the greatest problem that we are facing today. The lack of self-awareness in our education system. We are taught 6 subjects, but none of us knows which of the subject they love the most. None of us knows in our life that what aligns with our soul, that what is our nature, what is our passion. And passion is what creates the juice in life. Think of any successful leader think of anyone. Really think of Bill Gates, think of Steve Jobs, think of Albert Einstein. People who have consistently produced effective results in life. All of them have something in common, and what's that? They're passionate about what they're reading, they're passionate about what they did. Right? Bill Gates was passionate about technology, same with Steve Jobs. Albert Einstein was passionate about physics. Right? So everybody's passionate about something. And we students, we don't have self-awareness. We don't know what our passion is, so we can't effectively take actions on that as well. This is the number one problem that we are facing. Teacher comes, asks about you, the greatest wish in life. Maybe there is security that you don't want to share. I have this. I don't want to share these wishes that I have in my life with my teachers, because in the back of my mind I have this, that they will not really understand, because they are way against the framework of the system, and I think that they won't understand, and they did not understand. I mean, I told I had a passion for physics, and I was in 8th class. I have it right now as well, but the way we are taught physics, it really not it doesn't really makes you passionate. So I loved physics, and I taught relativity to my class in 8th or 9th class. And one teacher, she asked me, "What do you want to do?" And I said very proudly, "I want to become a physicist." And he said, "But physicists don't make a lot of money. What would you do?" I was like, "Yeah, she got a point there, but it was my passion, and I was not really self-aware of myself, because I have a much greater passion, a much greater sense now." Still, she got me into that money thing. She did not ask me about if it would really make me happy. Self-awareness, that's why self-awareness is important. Passion creates the juice. One other very important, very funny things that is happening is, those people who know their passion and that passion doesn't align with the system, and that's like 80% of the time, they are being ridiculed for their passion, and sooner or later they decide to give up. I mean, for example, let's get practical here. If you are a musician, if you have a passion for creating music, and you are really good at it, you have a talent, and you have self-awareness as well, you know that this makes you feel like you are a god. This makes you feel that your soul is lit up. But whenever you do it, you get ridiculed either by your parents or either by your teachers, that you won't get much success in life because you don't align with the system. That's not true, but that's what's happening inside. You have a passion for acting, and the same thing happens for you. These students, they are not appreciated. They are way, way above the topper in class, which gets the A plus grade but doesn't know shit about creativity. I'm not blaming anyone. Please be clear. I'm not blaming anyone. This is actually what's happening. But the topper in class gets much recognition and appreciation and love from their teacher and their parents, and they think that like he's the plus. He has the most smartest mind in the whole class, in the whole world, and he can do anything, and he'll be really successful and this and that. That doesn't make you successful, to be really honest. What's success? Let's define success. What's success for you? What's success for me? We all have different definitions for success, but we all want something very basic. We want those emotions. You don't want money, you want the freedom that comes with it. You don't want just pieces of paper, you want the security, right? And the greatest emotion in life is happiness and fulfillment. Right? You agree with me on this. Everybody agrees. Happiness is like the king. All of us, all of our life, we are avoiding pain and we are going for pleasure. And pleasure makes you happy, right? However, the topper in the class, the one who gets the A plus grade, he might have a good job. He might have a good relation with his family. His parents would be really happy. But every day when he wakes up, he doesn't say, yes, let's do it, another day. He goes, yeah, whatever, man, another day, let's just spend the day, come back and, eat a pizza or something to change my mood. If he goes like this on his job with this attitude, we know what will happen. He will fail. That's not success. He might have a Ferrari. He might have a Lambo. But walking and smiling is better than crying in your Ferrari or your Lambo. That doesn't define happiness. That's not happiness. These people who say that, yeah, it's okay. I mean, I'll cry in my Ferrari. They don't know it. They don't know what that pain is. There are millionaires, literally millionaires, who are messed up inside, and they have, spent all their wealth. They have the wealth to buy everything in the world they want. They have the great financial freedom, but still, they don't have the basic primary emotion set. They don't have happiness. They don't have fulfillment. And all their lives, all their money, it leads to misery. It leads to more misery because money magnifies whatever you have. If you have misery, it will magnify it. You'll have more misery now. That's great. You don't want that, right? Going back to the education system and this example, we looked at the topper in class. Now let's just look at the musician. Now let's just look at the physicist who really loves physics, but he doesn't have a talent for it right now. Well, yeah, let's be more practical. Let's look at the esports gamer that there is in the class, and he loves gaming and he's the best at it, and he can create his whole fortune on it. He can create his happiness on it. What will happen with him in class? He'll not get much recognition. He'll not get much appreciation. And to hell with recognition. He'll not get much satisfaction from his college or from his school. But when he gets out of that fake environment and he gets into the practical life, and let's just say he learns, and education is important, and he inspires from the top esports gamers in the world, and he learns from them and he takes education from them, and that's not very hard to do. You can just literally, if you know about an esports gamer, you can literally check on him for YouTube, and you can just learn everything that he does, and you can model the exact same thing to produce the exact same results. That's not very difficult to do, and he learns that, and he creates his channel and he streams every day, and he is really excited, really passionate. You see it from his body language, the way he talks, the way he plays, all the things. You see it, he's really passionate. And then he creates then he creates a financial security for him as well, and a financial freedom as well. He'll have more happiness. Even if he doesn't have the money, he'll be happy because he's doing what lights up his soul, what puts off the spark. That's the definition of happiness. It's not grades, it's not paper, it's not piece of paper, it's not the cars. It's happiness. It's what's aligned with you. It's self-awareness. And our education system, it conditions us. I mean, greatest wish in life, our teacher, when he came and wrote, and I was like shocked. When did they started teaching these things? I mean, sure, I wrote my greatest wish to help others, and that's what I'm trying to do with my podcast. I live that life every day. I want to give more than anyone. I want to share. I want to be more than myself, and I feel really, really happy and excited right now. I don't need, a bigger, greater success. However, growth is important. But in that sense, I don't need a bigger, greater success to be happy, and I don't need a reason to be happy. I can just be happy by myself, because I love what I do, because I love how I spend my time. That's happiness. So what we need to do, what you and we need to do in our education system, what we need to do with ourselves, leave the education system for now, because it's all a fake environment and it doesn't produce the results. So what we need to do is, we need to have self-awareness. And you can have it by taking inspiration from others, by taking knowledge, or you can have it just by looking at yourself. You can. It's important. And then once you know what aligns with your soul, you can literally go on Google, the best book that there is. You can take out your phone, you can go on search the greatest people. For example, if you're a musician, you can search for the greatest musicians that are living right now. If you want to be a rapper, search for rappers. And then you can learn from them, and then you can model their behaviors. And then that will create happiness for you. See, you don't need a degree. You don't need grades. You don't need anything. You just need yourself to be aligned. There is nothing in this world that you can't learn. And once you learn something, you can't unlearn it. Tony Robbins, on his book Unlimited Power, on the end of it, it's written, success is habit forming. And once the habit of success is formed, it cannot be deformed. And there's another crucial rule too, that our minds can defy the law of universes, the law of nature in one very crucial way, and that's that it can go backwards. That can happen, but once you form that habit, you'll get automated on it, right? So what you need to have, my friend, I'm talking to you, and solely to you. I'm not addressing the education system. I'm not addressing anyone. It's my advice. It's my brotherly advice to you. Have your passion. Know yourself. Be aware of what you are. Not that voice in your head that's been instilled by your parents, or your teachers, but what you really are. And if you lost yourself in your childhood, if you lost that version of self, bring that back, because is who you are. It's not that what you have become, it's what you are. If you lost your meaning, your purpose in life, what's the point of life? An okay life is no life, according to us, according to you and me. An extraordinary life is a life that you want to live. And to create that for yourself, the first step is to know yourself. To know what you're passionate about. To know what makes you happy. To know what sparks your soul. To know what makes your heart blossom. Know yourself. I love you. Now what you need to do is love yourself. Give you all that love. And be aware of who you are, who you were born to be. Be aware of the gifts that you have. And all of us have gifts. Extraordinary gifts. All our life is a gift. Our heart is a gift. Our breath is a gift. Our passions, our values, our beliefs, all of them are gifts. Create the life you desire. Be passionate and know yourself. Have self-awareness. That's it for today's episode. It was great spending this time with you. And if you stick to the end, thank you. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, have a great life.
The podcast you just heard was